have noted the signing of the memorandum of understanding between Bhutan and China today. You are aware that Bhutan and China have been holding boundary negotiations since 1984. India has similarly been holding boundary negotiations with China.
Greetings to our viewers. Today's segment, we will be presenting a highlight on the China-Bhutan memorandum, which was signed recently, and how this affects, or this could be a potential for India and Japan to nurture. So joining us for today's segment, we have Dr. Satoru Nagao, who is a fellow at the Hudson Institute based in Tokyo. He has been there from December 2017 to November 2020 and was a visiting fellow at the Hudson Institute, which was based in Washington, D.C. Thank you, Dr. Nagao, for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on board. I'll begin with the first question. China and Bhutan have recently signed a new memorandum of understanding. And how do you see this move by Bhutan, and how do you think it is going to affect trilateral relations between India, Bhutan, and China?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me, and it is an honor to reply these questions. Firstly, I need to talk about situation in Bhutan. For a long time, India took responsibility of the national security of Bhutan. So this is important. And in the Doklam incident, which was happened in 2017, was a good example. And 12,000 Chinese military forces entered the Doklam Plateau, which both the Bhutan and China claim. India tried to stop it. So that was a good example. India takes the responsibility of the security of Bhutan. But after the incident, Bhutan has started to worry. China is expanding to India. If India fails to stop China, India and China will fight on the Bhutan. Bhutan has started to worry the one situation. When elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. Bhutan will be the grass in this case. That is Bhutan's concern. So that is the reason Bhutan negotiated with China, especially they try to fix the border. But in my opinion, this is trap. There are two types of traps. Firstly, even if the Bhutan agreed with China, their border, the China can break the promise. What happened in the other area, like the East China Sea, South China Sea, or even if the Arctic, we can see China is expanding their claim. Before the 1971, China hasn't claimed the Senkaku Island as their territory. Suddenly they start to say. In the South China Sea, when they find the power vacuum, they occupy the territory and finally claim the full of the South China Sea. When France withdraw, when US withdraw, when Soviet troops reduce the number in Vietnam, that time in China occupies the reefs or islands in the South China Sea and finally claim all of the South China Sea is their sea. So even if the Bhutan agreed with China, this is not the solution. Bhutan should understand. And secondly, if Bhutan agreed with China without permission from India, what will happen? India-Bhutan relation will be deteriorated. That is the main concern because India takes the responsibility of the national security of Bhutan. So there is no benefit for Bhutan. This is my opinion.
So moving on to the next question, is China trying to change the status quo by pushing it hard on Bhutan to have dialogues with Beijing? Can this affect India-Bhutan protectorate relationship?
I think so. Even if through the negotiations, it will harm the relation with India. So, of course, Bhutan has their own army, but without India, Bhutan cannot defend their border. That is also true. That is the reason. Indeed, we should not forget that Bhutan is a country, pro-India country. So Bhutan should not harm the relation with India. Bhutan enjoys the Pax Indiana in this region. So Bhutan is one kind of winner in this region. If so, Bhutan should continue this foreign policy. No need to change this. That is my opinion.
So moving on to the next question, it is a little bit in relation to your well-celebrated article, which you had written for the Hudson Institute. And you spoke about how India can utilize its relation with Japan and can use this friendship to creating some space for Bhutan, which is protective and also defensive. So what interests for Japan do you think lies with Bhutan?
For Japan, Bhutan is a country we should support. But at the same time, there is no strategic interest in Bhutan. Bhutan is pro-India country, and Bhutan think India's support is very helpful for them. So this relation is very good. Bhutan is pro-India country. But at the same time, Bhutan depends on India heavily. That is the reason sometimes Bhutan need to worry about their independence. Bhutan want to maintain their independence, even if the Bhutan like India. So under such kind of situation, Bhutan want to maintain a cordial relation with India, but at the same time, Bhutan want to establish a good relation with other countries. But if Bhutan choose China as a partner, that will create a problem between Bhutan and India. That is the reason Japan is a good answer for Bhutan. Japan is the main donor for Bhutan for a long time. Agriculture system, irrigation systems, or related to the economical development of the Bhutan, Japan has supported much. And Japan is a country to respect India's influence in this region. Japan is India side country. So if Bhutan want to find a country, they want to create a new relations, Japan or other India side country like Quad members or the Quad Plus members are best, but not China. That is my opinion. And Japan's interest is Bhutan is a little far for Japan, but Bhutan is a Buddhist-based country, and the relation between the royal family and the imperial family of Japan also exists. So that is the reason, indeed, Japan has a good image towards Bhutan, and we want to support it. But this kind of relation is not strategic, so there is no concern for India. Japan is India's side country, and Japan is a friend of Bhutan.
So lastly, like also since you've mentioned about Quad, we do see that regional powers are emerging and regional associations are emerging, and we are living in an era where it's pretty much dynamic. Geopolitics is very dynamic. So what do you think now should be done by Bhutan, India, and Japan with regards to this, with regards to the changing dynamics and geopolitics?
Okay, firstly is what should Bhutan do? I have already explained much, but Bhutan should coordinate their move with India very deeply and very closely. And at the same time, Bhutan should establish a good relation with India side country like Japan. That is the solution for Bhutan. But at the same time, for India, what should India do? India should assure the security of Bhutan. Bhutan is worrying India and China fight in the Bhutan. So such kind of situation will not happen if India has enough power then to assure the Bhutan the national security. So India need to increase their defense budget because compared with China, the India's defense budget is a little small. So that is not good for both India and Bhutan. So, and at the same time, what should Japan do? Japan is India's hand country. Japan is a friend of Bhutan. So that is the reason Japan can support India. So in this case, Japan has many options to support India's policy in Bhutan and the national border of India. But for a long time, India do not like intervention from the other great powers in this region. South Asia is India's Asia, and so India should take all of the responsibility to secure something in the South Asia. So, of course, Quad respects, or Japan respects such kind of the India's will. India's national security is India's. That's true. But at the same time, China is a big threat for India now. So in this case, if India needs support from other friends, Quad can reply. For example, the Quad can make the statement and to inform the Bhutan the deal with China is dangerous. If India wishes to Quad cooperate with India's policy in this region, Quad can do. India asks the Quad to cooperate. It depends on India's decision. We will respect, Quad can respect, and Japan can respect India's will. And so it's up to you, is the message. But at the same time, India has good friends because what India has done is very good. This is India's friends. India creates friends. That is the reason India has a friend, and India can use a friends. But that is the situation, and so fight India like that.
That's quite an
Yeah.
insightful answer. That's quite an insightful answer. So that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you so much, Dr. Nagao, for joining us and providing us with a very optimistic and also an insightful inclusion into the whole segment.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me.